Hey everybody, it's live! Finally! I'm so excited to announce that my book, Trauma Bonded, a true story of navigating attachments forged in complex PTSD, is available for purchase at Amazon. It'll also be available for purchase at all other book retailers in the very near future. Head on over there and check us out.
I remember. See, it's not the MS. I'm fine. We were going to talk about your conversation with your brother and identify how he was utilizing mystical manipulation to shame you. So we're gonna definitely come back and talk about that.
Okay.
As well.
Can't wait.
All right. So Mason, what does mystical mean?
All right. So according to Webster, let's see here. The first definition, having a spiritual meaning or reality that is neither apparent to the senses nor obvious to the intelligence.
Okay, so we're talking about a spiritual experience.
Well, right, and it just simply says having a spiritual meaning or reality.
Oh, meaning or reality, got it.
That is not apparent to the senses or obvious to the intelligence, so it's completely separated from what you would expect as a logical progression of a reality.
Right. So Mason had asked me, when we were starting this, this was before you read it out of the book, what does mystical manipulation mean? And so, we reviewed that this morning when we were driving over here. And we talked about that mystical manipulation is the phenomenon where somebody uses an existential belief system and then they create a fear of loss or fear of judgment or fear of something within that system to control the thoughts, actions, behaviors, emotions of the people over which they are trying to manipulate. So
right.
It's going to be, things like, Mason, in that text message that we're going to kind of tear apart from your brother, or those communications that you had with your family, really common things that would be considered mystical manipulation is statements like you're throwing your eternal salvation away, or your children, when your dad said your children are going to suffer because you've left Mormonism. Those are statements of mystical manipulation. And I think it's important to point out, and I'm going to take this really quickly from the Recovering Agency book that Lindsey Corbden wrote. Remember, we are definitely promoting that you buy this for yourself because we are barely scratching the surface of some of the things that Lindsey has written about in here because this is such a valuable resource book. But one of the things that really stood out to me in the mystical manipulation chapter is on page 127. And Mason, this is that really long paragraph that you had said. I'm going to read the opening line and the closing line. So this is going to be the fourth paragraph down on page 127 in Recovering Agency, Lifting the Veil of Mormon Mind Control by Lindsey Corbden. And what they said is the manipulation may not be entirely intentional and may arise naturally given the environment. And that's what when your dad says things to you, Mason, like your children are going to suffer, I don't think he's intentionally trying to control you. I think that it's the environment of that high demand religion has made him feel like by reminding you of this existential loss that he's doing you a favor, that he's trying to pull you back into something that is safer because his existential belief is that Mormonism is the one and only way to be with your family forever.
Yeah. Well, and you said you wanted to go to the end here, but let me just pull one other line here. Almost the next line. This is quoting Lifton in Thought Reform and the Psychology of Totalism. Ideological totalists do not pursue this approach solely for the purpose of maintaining a sense of power over others. Rather, they are impelled by a special kind of mystique which not only justifies such manipulations, but makes them mandatory.
Right.
And I think it's just, this whole cult series has been not about trying to tag anybody with a a name or anything like that. Like, we're not trying to call any particular religion a cult or any particular organization a cult. It's about recognizing what kind of things happen in cult-like organizations so that you can be aware of what's going on, more cognizant of those things, so that you can then protect yourself from manipulation that you don't want as a part of your life.
Absolutely. Well, and one of the challenges is because this is an existential existence. One of the things that a lot of high demand religions will do is with that mysticism is they will define what happens after this life here on earth.
Right.
So this life is tangible. We are here because we are living in it. I know that rocks are real.
Right.
I can touch them. I can feel them. I can pick them up. I can smash them.
Right. We have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen or what things can happen in this tangible universe because of the experiences of ourselves and other people.
Right. And we can even identify and define things that we cannot see in this world because of other things that we can see. So something like gravity. I know that gravity exists because when I drop something, it always hits the ground.
Right.
If I hold my hand out and I drop it, no matter what way my palm is facing, it's going to eventually come down. And so I have scientific, tangible evidence that can be verified by anybody else conducting the same experiment that gravity is a real force. When we're
Right.
talking about existential things, there's no way to prove it. And I would say that our human brain craves mysticism. It craves wonder. It craves magical things. That's normal, but it doesn't mean that those things are real in reality. And when I'm talking about reality, I'm talking about the kind of reality that is tangibly observable, repeatable, like that scientific reality. Right. There is no way in this life for me to know that there is a God. However, I believe that there is something bigger than myself that is divine or God-like. But I have to be able to say, talk about the difference between I know and I believe, or I know and I think.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Shop Plato's Closet tax-free August 2nd through 4th for back-to-school styles. We sell the trendy, gently used styles you need to make a difference in the world and in your wallet for back-to-school shopping. Save up to 70% off regular retail prices by choosing recycled styles. Save even more when you shop tax-free this weekend. Make a change that others can respect and repeat. Shop Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley this year for your back-to-school looks. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.